Yo, this KueShotti, man, for the to-0Podcast, man. Here we go. It's another Monday, top of the Monday morning to you, man. I know you don't want to be here, and I know you dragging after that long-ass weekend, but get your ass up. It's time to get to it. All right. So I know I've been covering a lot of the Big U situation, a lot of aspects of the hip-hop scene and all that, but I'm going to switch it up a little bit today. Now, Saturday, we were discussing a topic about post-traumatic slave syndrome. Now, you heard a couple different opinions on, do you believe it exists or is an ailment? You heard a couple different opinions, right? I never gave my opinion because this was a subject that was brought to me when I was incarcerated, and I actually had to read a paper on this, and the question was actually posed to me, do I believe it exists? And I actually had to write a response paper to that, and I'm gonna share that with you guys. So that's my response to this. But if you're not familiar, if you didn't watch the show and you're not familiar with post-traumatic slave syndrome, what it is, it's a as explained by Dr. Joy DeGruy, it's a theory that explains the etiology of many of the adaptive survival behaviors in African-American communities throughout the United States and the diaspora. It is a condition that exists as a consequence of multi-generational oppression of Africans and their descendants resulting from centuries of chattel slavery. That is a form of slavery which was predicated on the belief that African Americans were inherently and or genetically inferior to whites. This was then followed by institutionalized racism, which continues to perpetuate injury today. Okay, I was a little stumbling over them goddamn words. I apologize for that. But I'm gonna also show you guys this short video where she kind of explains her position on it. So we're going to play that for you right now. Okay, now, you heard what it is. You know what it is. Okay, now, I'm actually going to get this paper published. So you will be able to find this paper. But I'm going to give you my response that I wrote when I was incarcerated to this subject. Now, do I believe that post-traumatic slave syndrome exists, or do I believe that it is a racist idea? Now, I believe it exists, but I absolutely believe that it's a racist idea. Now, first and foremost, as the writer pointed out, who's to say that black people who depreciates their value that exhibits the so-called symptoms of post-traumatic slave syndrome are actually the descendants of actual slaves, first and foremost. I believe that we take away the accountability of our own self-destructive decisions by using this as a way out of honest self-reflection. I believe that post-traumatic slave syndrome is a Caucasian mental disorder from the fact that some, not all, white Americans are traumatized by the fact that they can't control black Americans anymore. I think that the police brutality, differences in sentencing guidelines, and etc. is proof of that. I also believe that mass incarceration stems from the black male's cross-wired programming of prioritizing. Do white Americans take advantage of our ignorance? Absolutely, for sure. If we are honest, the upper class does, white and black alike. But in retrospect, does that ignorance come from post-slavery or modern rebellion? If I'm correct in the understanding of my teachings of slavery-era blacks, they were the most hopeful, modest, religious, compassionate, and sympathetic people in the world. And if I'm also correct in the meaning of post-traumatic, it means reliving the experience that gave us this ailment. And assuming I'm correct, isn't it also safe to say that the behaviors of modern day black Americans are a product of the disconnection of the slave experience and more so the byproducts of the I can do what I want because I'm free mentality of the parents' misguided principles? You tell me. You may say that the parents were taught that way. I believe that is true. But where can we pinpoint the beginning of this moral disability? When did the modest, loyal, nurturing, God-fearing, beautiful black queen transform into this promiscuous, materialistic, money-hungry, angry, unsympathetic black woman? And where did the God-fearing, strong, protective, family-oriented, proactive, hardworking, respectful black king transform into this anti-religious, womanizing, weak, absent-fathered, lazy, anti-black, disrespectful black man without a backbone? Was it when and because of our freedom from the traumatic experience of slavery, which most cannot recall, and their parents can't because they never experienced it? Or was it somewhere along the way to the present by an unprincipled, ill-mannered, devil-may-care attitude towards authority and self-correction? You decide, but I go with the latter. And I say this as an undeterrable, pro-black, anti-justice system convicted felon of a black man. But I also say this as an anti-racist, unbiased, self-loving human being that believes 100% in responsibility of my own decisions and consequences of my own actions. So while I believe we are an oppressed people who suffers from modern-day mental slavery and has intentional man-made obstacles to prevent us from being successful and advancing into a higher economic class, I also believe that us as a black people need to stop looking for a scapegoat and realize that we hold the only key to these mental chains and disperse with the fear of change and responsibility that comes with the thought of unlocking them. The only thing that can make us inferior is the decision to be inferior in our own thinking. Now, that's my thoughts on that. So I want you to hit that like button. I want you to subscribe, and I want you to drop a comment, man. Tell me what y'all think about this post-traumatic slave syndrome. Tell me if y'all think I'm wrong. Tell me if y'all think I'm right. Shit, come for me if y'all want to. I don't care, man. Just tell me something, man. But you know, we gonna get back at y'all, man, and catch us on the show, man. And this is something we really need to tap into, man, because you know, if I'm wrong, it's something we need to change. If I'm right, it's something we need to change. So y'all let me know, man. KueShotti, O to O. We out.